Okay, you guys, this is part two of this good ass story. And I forgot to tell you in part one that this is a multi part series because I think she has like 25 parts. All right, enjoy.
And they went to get an ultrasound and a heartbeat. Now, mind y'all, this was the craziest shit too, because when they did the heartbeat, the lady kind of said, I kind of hear a second heartbeat, like it's pretty faint. But that's when they said, they thought I was pregnant. Another month went by. They wanted me to go back to the hospital, do another ultrasound at this point. So now I'm really terrified because I'm like, I'm not pregnant, and this shit is been to like really fuck me up because my judge was so sweet. She was so nice. Like she came from family court, so of course she was really nice, and she was very concerned that I'm pregnant with my first kid and I'm gonna go to prison. So she was kind of like trying to be lenient or whatever. The state wanted me to do 8 years. They wanted 8 years. They wasn't coming off 8 years. They was not coming down. They wanted 8 years. But I ended up pleading out to my judge. So I think that if I wouldn't have got caught in the lie about being pregnant, I wouldn't even got the 4 years. Because she ended up giving me 4 years. She gave me half of the 8. And the only reason why she gave me 4 is because she could not believe that I sat in her courtroom and lied. I was so embarrassed because all my friends thought I was pregnant. My mama, my grandma, everybody was going to bed like, oh my God, like she's gonna be a first time mom. Like she cannot go to prison. So they ended up figuring out I wasn't pregnant, and the judge was like, she was very disappointed in me. And mind y'all, when you get sentenced, they don't say 4 years, 3 years, they say the months. So she said, I hereby sentence you to 48 months in state prison. Oh my God, I about lost my shit because I'm like, 48 months? I'm counting. How many years is that? Like, put it in layman's terms. How many years I'm gonna do? Because 48 months, that is insane. That sounds like a long ass time. Like, 48 months. So, so at this time now, the boyfriend held me down or whatever, even after me, like, putting him out, even after the bullshit. I ended up stopped talking to Ed Plan at the time. We wrote here and there. He would write me letters. I didn't call him that often because I couldn't believe that he was married, and I really didn't get a chance to kind of like digest it and talk to him about it because I told y'all it was the next day I went to court and they kept me. So, but the boyfriend, he held it down now. In the beginning, the 10 months that I did in county, he was there. He was not there for my prison sentence. I'm going to get into that, but he was not there for that prison sentence, baby. Might I add, county time is some hard time. Literally, it's nothing to do in county. Like you walk in circles, you might play a little cards here and there, eat and go to bed. It's nothing that you can do. When they say rec, time to go outside to rec, you still caged in. You're not even outside. Excuse me. You're not even outside for real. It's like you're still inside, but it's like a little gate around, not even outside. Like you still in the building. It's a gate in the building. It's like you feel a little wind. That's all. But yeah, that was my 10 months in county. I spent 10 months in county and finally went to court and got sentenced to 48 months, which is 4 years. And now I'm finna go to prison. Okay, part 4 on surviving prison. I'm back. So I left y'all off with I had ended up getting sentenced to 4 years, which is 48 months in the state prison. I had done did 10 months already in the county. Yes, it did go towards my sentence. So the time that I sat in county, they put it towards my prison sentence. So while I was awaiting to get shipped off to prison, I probably was still in county for about 2 more weeks. Within them 2 weeks, y'all, I was still delusional. I haven't even cried yet. Like the fact that I was getting sent to prison for 4 years, I was just like more so shocked than like hurt. So I couldn't like grasp the fact like, girl, you finna be gone for 4 years. But during that time, my mama had came to visit me to see me or whatever. And y'all won't believe I was still lying. Like I was still telling my mom like I'm pregnant. My mom was like, cut the shit, Cierra. Like the people already done told me that you're not pregnant because she was already disappointed. And I just was like, I was sad that I had disappointed her and everybody else. So, because they was going to bat for me. So I was just like, Mom, them people don't know what they talking about. I am pregnant. I am pregnant. My mom was like, listen, if you keep fucking lying, I'm finna walk out of this visitation right now. and fuck you basically. Like, don't reach out to me. I won't be talking to you for the next 4 years until you bring your ass home if you gonna continue to lie to me. So I'm just like, oh my God, like I gotta tell my mama the truth because ain't no way I'm gonna be able to do 4 years without my mama. Like I need my mama. I need somebody like there for me. Like this is scary. I'm walking to something new, like something that I've never experienced before, and I need my mama. She was like, I got your back regardless of anything, but I can't have your fucking back if you ain't even telling me the truth. You ain't being honest with me. So if you're not gonna be honest with me, then I can't have your fucking back. So you right, mom. You right. So I went and told my mama, yeah, mom, I'm not pregnant. I was just, saying that because I was afraid to go to prison. I didn't know they were going to send me to prison if I was pregnant. So she accepted it or whatever. We both cried because now I'm realizing like I really am finna go up the road. So she like, okay, well, thank you for being honest. Now I got your back. Like, you ain't doing this time alone. We finna do this time together. I got a great ass mom, y'all. So now 2 weeks passed by, the prison bus come pick me up. They called me to pack it up. It's time to go to prison. I'm scared shitless. Like, prison, it's like, you see stuff on TV, but you don't be really like, if you ain't experienced it, you be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, like, I hope I don't be locked up like that. Like, I hope they don't treat me like that. So, a big ass, stupid, big white bus come pulling up. I mean, not a regular school bus. I mean, it was super big, like a Greyhound or some shit, but it was a white little bus. They put the shackles on me. They put the cuffs on me. I immediately started crying because I'm just like, oh my God, this is my reality. So I get to the women's reception center. That's women's reception center is a prison that you go to before you go to your actual real camp. They send all the women there because you basically got to learn the ropes of prison. They teach you, what you can't do, what you can do, kind of like, just a, introduction. So when I tell you that was the worst part because they really want you to be scared before you go to your prison so you can be scared when you at the prison. Soon as you get there, they yelling at you like drill sergeants. Get in the fucking line. Walk in the fucking line. Don't step over the white line. Like on life. Like, don't step over the gun line. Like, you might get shot or some shit. Like, it was crazy. Then when you get in there, they immediately put you in this cage. It's a real big old cage fenced in like you're a freaking animal. Like, I'm looking like scared, like, oh my God, like I'm looking at people looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, what is gonna happen? I'm in a fucking cage like a dog. So then they called my last name or whatever. They did my little intake or whatever. Then they immediately give you some kind of like green shampoo, make you put it in your hair and make you wet your hair and wash your hair. They say it's for lice or whatever, but you immediately wash your hair and then they gonna make you take a picture. So you really want me on the internet looking stupid? So you want to put me on the internet like this while my hair all stupid, wild, bushy, wet, like they just try to embarrass you. After they finish taking your picture, they like yelling at, what size uniform you wear? I'm scared. Like, I don't know. You don't know. You better find out. Like, everything is just yelling. That's why I say I'm really like, I'm traumatized. I hate for somebody to get loud with me. I hate for somebody to yell at me because that's all they fucking do in prison is yell at you. So I end up getting my uniform, putting my uniform on. It's a girl next to me. She trying to talk to me. I'm scared. I don't even want to talk to nobody. Like, I'm just like, like, what you in here for? I'm scared to say anything. I don't know what I'm in here for. Like, it was just crazy. So that was the intake or whatever. Then they assign you to a dorm or whatever. You get assigned to a dorm and you go to your dorm. I'm not knowing the whole time. I'm not even finna be able to use the phone. Oh my God, how long I'm finna have to be here without using the phone? I need to call my mama. Like, I need to know what's going on. Without using the phone, I need to call my mama. Like, I need to know what's going on. So you can use the phone. You don't got your tablet yet. You do have a little computer where it was JPay at the time, but you got to stand in a long line for that. It was a long line every day to check and see if you had messages. So like people from the outside could add you on JPay or whatever to write you. So, and that's before you got a tablet. I needed my mama to know exactly where I was at so she can, put money on my books and stuff like that, etc. But I couldn't use the phone the whole time I was there. And I was probably in reception center for about a good 3 weeks or so, almost a month, without using the fucking phone. Just writing her, emailing her on JPay, and I had to stand in line for that every fucking day. When I tell you at the reception center, they some fucking Billy badasses, like some big ass bullies. And I ain't saying I can beat everybody, and I ain't saying I ain't scared of nobody. But what I'm saying is, I'm a big girl, and I can handle mine. But soon as you on the yard, like I'm new to this, so when they know you new, and you probably kind of like look a little scared, they gonna try you. Child, why a girl done tried to skip me in the commissary line? Oh, I was not having that. Hey, baby, I might be new, but I'm far from motherfucking scary. I'm scared, like, of the environment, but I'm far from scary. So you ain't finna just jump in front of me, and I done stood in the line, because first of all, you have to stand in the long line. They don't care if it's hot, raining, snowing. You got to stand in the line for canteen. And they close it at a certain time. So you might be number 15 in line. When they get to number 12 or 13, that's it. Yard closed. So I done stood in line all this time for a whole hour just for the yard to close. And then this bitch thinks she finna get in front of me? Oh, no, man. We ain't doing that. So that was my first argument at the reception center. It wasn't my first fight, but it was my first argument. I was like, hey, I'm in line. And she was like, I know that. I was like, you ain't finna skip me. And she was like, shit. So as the line went up, I politely moved right in front of her, like I said, you ain't finna skip me. I done stood in this line a whole hour, you ain't finna skip me. So basically what I'm getting at is you gotta stand up for yourself, because if I would have just backed down and just like let her have it, then she would have tried me again. So at this point you already see the feistiness in me. You see, like, I ain't scared of you, bitch. Like, you ain't finna skip me. Like, I'm finna get in front of you. Don't play with me. You can get behind me, you can get on the side of me, but you ain't finna get in front of me. So you had to get up every morning at 5 a.m. to like clean your bed area, get up for count. Oh my God, y'all. Count time was the worst time in prison. Because some of them officers seem like they can't count, and you can't do nothing during count. You can barely motherfucking sneeze during count. You can't go use the bathroom. You can't do nothing during count. Count time is count time. You like a drill sergeant. You better be in count. So the reception center was kind of boring. It really wasn't nothing to do there. You did go in the yard, you sit at the tables and chit chat with the people. But like I said, I wasn't friendly. I didn't know people. I was a little scared of the environment. I wasn't trying to make no friends. But like I said, I was probably there like 30 days, almost 30 days. Probably day 22, I did end up meeting somebody, and we end up going to the same prison, like our real prison. And we've been like this ever since. And we still friends now. But child, they scared the shit out of me. They kicked my bump. Hey, pack it up. I'm like, pack it up? Where am I going? Because at this point, I didn't know that I was going to a real prison. I just thought that I was in a reception center. I found out when they kicked my bump and told me to pack it up. So they was like, you finna go to a prison. So on certain days, you knew like what prison you was going to, because on Wednesday you would go to Gaston, on Thursday you would go to Hernando, stuff like that. And it was a Wednesday, so everybody was like, oh, you going to Gaston? You going to Gaston? Like, oh, you going to Cupcake Camp? I'm like, Cupcake Camp? They're like, yeah, girl, that shit's sweet. It's a walk in the park. So now my anxiety done calmed down a little bit, because I'm like, oh, okay. Like, but I'm still scared. But I'm like, okay, they say it's Cupcake Camp. Part 5 on surviving prison. A little small disclaimer before I get back into it. I was 26, almost 27 years old when I committed this crime, or when I went in. I'm 34 years old now, so I didn't have the mindset that I have now back then. I can't go back and change the things that I did. I was a little dumb, but I'm way more wiser now. And might I add, I needed this prison sentence. It changed me. So just want to throw that out there. So like I was saying, they woke me up, told me that I'm going to Gaston, which is a private camp. So when I say private, meaning they have a lot of more amenities than the DOC have. So it was Cupcake Camp is what they called it, meaning it's not real prison. It was real prison to me. Like anything was real prison. I was away from home, locked up, and being told what to do. So it was real prison. The girl that I had met at the reception center, she came with me, so I already knew somebody, like, and we were, cool or whatever. We got separated when we got to the Cupcake Camp, which is Gaston. So we was kind of like, oh my God, no. But we would see each other at rec all the time. Like, we would meet up at the child hall, and we would hang out. The first thing I wanted to do was use the phone. I didn't care about nothing else. Like, I needed to call my mama and let her know, like, hey, I'm gone. I'm at this new camp. Please put in your visitation form. I need y'all to come see me, like, as soon as possible, because I need to see my family. So when you first get to prison, your phone pin don't be working. Like, you got to get it activated or whatever so it can start working. Well, I had ended up paying somebody when I got there because, mind you, I had commissary that they didn't have on this campus yet. Like they wanted some of the stuff that we had from county or from the reception center that they didn't have over there. So I was able to trade and sell some things to make phone calls before my pen was working. I called my mama. They called her on three-way, and I really wanted to just bust out and cry because I was so happy to hear my mama's voice. But I held it in because I didn't want nobody to be like, this crybaby ass. So my mama had kind of gave me words of encouragement, telling me to stay strong. She's getting ready to do her application. She's coming to see me as soon as she can, and just keep my head up. I hung up the phone with my mama and I immediately kind of like was trying to get acclimated, even though I still could not. Like I was just crying. Like I went in the bathroom stall and just boo-hoo cried. Like I could not believe this was my reality. Like, girl, you is in prison, like, and you finna be here for a while, so you might as well get comfortable because you can't go nowhere. So I had got my bed assignment. Mind y'all, I am a heavy set girl. So why would y'all put me on the top bunk? Like, I'm supposed to climb up here on this bunk bed and get on the top? Like, I immediately was so mad because, like, why would y'all do me like that? So I climb up there, and immediately as I get up there, all I hear is a whole bunch of yelling, countdown, 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 countdown. I'm like, what is going on? Mind y'all, again, all they do is yell. So the yelling is like taking me out at this point because all you hear all day is yelling. And count time is very serious on the compound. No movement at all. Don't get up, don't talk. You talk, you getting rolled up. Too many DRs and CCs, you going to lock. So you better be still on your bunk. So I was in Charlie dorm, that C dorm, and might I add, it was like a privilege to get in Charlie dorm, and they end up putting me in Charlie dorm. So I guess like I was supposed to be happy about that because Charlie dorm, there was different parts of it. Two of the Charlie dorms were the dog dorm, so they had a dog program at this prison, and they had all types of dogs. And I was happy a little bit about it because, mind you, I had two dogs. I had two purebred Maltese, Bentley and Bella, and I had to leave them behind. And I was really, really sad about that because those were like my babies, like my kids. I love those dogs so bad. So I was in a dog dorm and I kind of liked it. I was in the dog dorm for probably about my first 4 months there. I ended up getting kicked out of the dog dorm because apparently you're not supposed to feed the dogs. If you feed the dogs real food, like that's a big no-no. And them dogs used to be whining and crying, and I felt like they were hungry. Like they're supposed to be, they were there for like support. The people, you had to be in the program and you train them to get them ready to either go with like somebody blind, somebody that needs like a service dog, because that's what they were, service dogs. So they didn't want you feeding them, but I felt sorry for the dogs. I felt like, hey, they were hungry, so I fed them. When they kicked me out, they end up putting me in faith base. Oh my god, y'all, faith base was a trip. Faith base was something else. And I'm shortening these videos because every time I try to upload a 10-minute video, TikTok is like putting it under review, saying content is under review, and I will have to post it like in 12 hours or so. And I know y'all want me to post them now, so I'm sorry that the videos are short. I'm gonna try to finish part 5 now and post the other one, and then I'll post part 6 tomorrow. Part 6 of Surviving Prison. So here I am at the cupcake camp. I'm here for about 4 months now. I finally get a job. So everybody has to work in prison. You cannot just lay around and not do anything. You either going to be you're going to be a houseman. A houseman is somebody that stay in the dorm and you clean up the dorm and you have different assignments in the dorm. You're going to either work in the kitchen, inside grounds, outside grounds, laundry. You're going to have a job in prison. Nobody's laying around. You're going to get your ass up every day and you're going to work. And no, you don't get paid. You get paid for your days. So game time, you get game time in there. You get 10 days a month. So you get 5 for working and 5 for good behavior. You might not get your 10 days every month depending on you. If you get a CC, which is kind of like you that's getting rolled up, but that's like a warning. And then DR, but you can get days taken, like 2 days or so for CCs and DRs. Well, I was on the call out for work call, and they assigned my job. My job was in the kitchen. in the hellhole, Hell's Kitchen. That's what we called it. In the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, I get to go work in the kitchen. I was kind of happy because I was bored those first 4 months, like I had nothing to do. I was in a dog dorm smelling and looking at dogs. So I was kind of happy. Mind y'all, I got kicked out of the dog dorm for feeding the dogs, so now I'm in faith-based, okay? But I'm just moving up a little bit, which I'm telling y'all, I got a job in the kitchen. I was happy a little bit because I was like, okay, give me something to do. They was so streaked in the kitchen, like, oh my God, we had one officer named Mango. Nobody liked her. Nobody liked her. She was such a bitch. And she was real young or whatever, but she used to be a hater. Like, she hated on all the inmates. She even got in a fight with an inmate, but she used to hate on the inmates so bad because she felt like, oh, some of the officers wanted the inmates, and she wanted the officer. Like, girl, you in the free world. Like, you can get who you want to get. We can't help that officers want us. So, anyways, I was placed in morning shift. Morning shift, I think I had to be to work at 5 a.m. and I got off at like 12 or so. Yeah, right before count 12. So I worked the morning shift, which was cool. So we did breakfast and we started lunch. My supervisor, Miss May, she was really cool, a really nice older black lady. She was so sweet. Like, she was like our grandma. She was really sweet. The kitchen is where it went down at, y'all. When I tell you, I didn't originally come in there doing the things that I eventually left doing, but I will say I got my hands dirty. By this time, I'm still like, new to the prison, but I'm kind of like not comfortable, but getting a little acclimated, if I must say. So everybody in there kind of like stole out the kitchen. So you sell stuff on the compound. You sell onions, bell peppers, rice, butter. I'm naming you the most popular items that people wanted on the compound. Butters, onions, peppers, seasonings, rice, cornbread mix. I think that's it. That's about it. That's the most popular stuff that people wanted on the compound. So on Saturdays, every Saturdays, it was a salad bar. So with salad bar, you get onions and bell peppers. So everybody got onions and bell peppers on their tray. So they would put it in a bag or whatever so they can take it back to their dorm because we had microwaves in the dorm. And people want to make Chinese food, which we would use brown rice, brown fried rice, and pork skins, and some other stuff. And that's making Chinese food. So they wanted their onions and peppers. Well, I guess it was against the rules to take your onions and bell peppers out the chow hall because they would pat you down as you would leave the chow hall every Saturday to see like if you got onions and peppers, like literally patting you down, putting your hands on the wall, turn around, patting you down to see if you got onions and bell peppers. Crazy, right? So now I'm back. I'm at the faith base. I really did not want to be in faith base, y'all. Like I said, you really like have to sign up for faith base and be selected to be in that program. But since I got kicked out of the dog norm, they automatically put me in faith base. At this time, I'm battling my faith right now because I'm still upset with God. I was blaming God because I'm like, how could God love me and he sent me to prison and I ain't never really been in trouble? So I'm battling my faith at this point. So I didn't want to be in faith base. I didn't want nothing to do with God because I'm just like, God don't love me. But not knowing what I know now and what I eventually learned, like, girl, take accountability because you put yourself here. God had to sit you down for a reason. So I had to gain my relationship back with God. But I did not want to be in faith base. So anyways, at this point, I'm taking my onions and bell peppers back in faith base too. Now, faith base is so strict. When I tell you strict, a bunch of fake holier than thou women in there, okay? I did not participate in like the little gathering. So every morning in faith base, you had to get up. They had praise and worship, and they had like a little circle thing where they have prayer and read the scriptures. I was still upset with God, so I didn't want to join that. Like, I didn't want to be in that, so I didn't do it. And they already was like kind of telling the chaplain on me then, like, oh, Cierra's not joining or whatever. So I kind of got a coaching then and threatened to get kicked out of faith base. So once I found out, oh, I'm getting threatened to get kicked out of faith base, good. Now I'm happy because now I'm really not joining the circle. So I went to the chow hall. I'm leaving the chow hall on a Saturday, and I bring my onions and bell peppers back. I get ready to cook my food in the microwave. They like hound dogs sniffing like, oh, I smell onions and bell peppers. I smell onions and bell peppers. Now, mind y'all, in the other dorm, they don't give a damn. They bringing their onions and bell peppers back. This is faith-based where they supposed to do everything right, so they not bringing their onions and bell peppers back. Child, them people used to be hating on me so bad. Like, they was telling the chaplain everything. Like, oh, she bring her onions and bell peppers back. Oh my God, it was just a mess. I eventually got kicked out of faith base. So now I'm getting ready to go to the working dorm, which was the kitchen dorm, because I work in the kitchen, and I'm getting ready to get moved to the kitchen dorm. Y'all, I regretted getting kicked out of faith base. The kitchen dorm was A dorm, which is Alpha dorm. Baby, Alpha dorm was the hood, like the straight hood where they get down and dirty in there. When I first walked in there, I immediately cried. They was smoking cigarettes. They was having sex. They was doing whatever they wanted to do. It's like the officers was scared of A dorm. At this point, I'm like, what did I just get myself into? Like, oh my God. Like, I cannot believe I'm getting sent to Alpha dorm. Like, I cannot live in here. I called my mama like, Ma, they just moved me to Alpha dorm. I don't want to be in here. Blah, blah. But no, you ain't want to be in faith base. So you got sent to Alpha dorm where it goes down there. Like, oh my God. It was so crazy, y'all. But anyway, so back to the kitchen. When I tell y'all, I end up becoming Big Meech on the compound with the stuff from the kitchen. Oh, I didn't play, baby. I was that girl selling that stuff on the compound. Like onions, bell peppers, butter, etc. You name it, I had it. And I like to sell my stuff to the goody two shoes, Miss Charlie girls, because Charlie dorm had the money. Them girls had the money over there. Like, I was going to say something else, but I don't think that's appropriate. But those girls in Charlie dorm, they were very spoiled. Their parents sent them lots of money, and they had it over there. So that's where I sold my stuff at.